What is up everyone, JJ here, and today I want to talk about film rolls and which one is best for you. Today I'm going to be going over all of the film rolls that I've used and giving you sample photos on every single one of them so you can make your best informed decision on which film roll that you should use. To get things started, let's talk about Colorplus. Colorplus is one of the most budget-friendly Kodak rolls out there. I highly suggest it, and it's one of the film rolls that I use the most. It is about $6 to $7 per film roll, which is 36 photos, and the photos turn out really warm, contrasty, saturated. They're really punchy, and they feel nostalgic. The Colorplus is 200 ISO, so it's ideal for most situations. Low light situations, not as much, but it is pretty forgiving. Next up, let's talk about another budget-friendly film roll, which is the Ultramax 400. The Ultramax 400 is a faded version of the Portra 400, I'd say. It's not as contrasty, it's not as saturated, the grays are pretty outstanding in the photos, and it's about $9 for what I got it at. The photos are pretty forgiving because it's a 400 ISO film, so you can use it in low light situations and also in broad daylight. And I really like this film roll because it's very faded, but a lot of people are not into that kind of look. So I'll show you some sample photos and you can decide from that if you want to use the Ultramax 400 or not. Next up is Portra. Portra is one of the most famous film rolls out there, and a lot of people use it, and it's considered more of a professional film roll. So with that comes also a professional price, and you can get a pack of 5 for about $55 to $60 depending on where you are. And it's a very nice film roll. It's so flexible, it's an all-rounder that you can use in almost any situation. And what's cool about Portra is that it's offered in ISO 160, 400, and 800. The 800 is my very favorite film roll because I can use it in dark situations, and I take night photography photos with it, and it's so high speed that I don't really need to have a tripod with me. I can just shoot photos handheld, and I really appreciate that. And you can also use the 800 in broad daylight, but it's gonna have more of a diffused look. I'll show you some photos right here. It's very realistic to what you see in real life. It's super fine grain, so your photos are going to be turning out really nice with this film roll. And it's something that I'd suggest because it's super forgiving. A film roll that you can rely on for just about any situation. Another premium film roll from Kodak is Ektar 100. This is a 100 ISO, so I'd suggest it only for broad daylight because when it gets into low light situations, it's way too dark. The contrast is super high on this and the saturation is amazing. I love this film roll. I just used this last week and it's one of my favorite ones. I'd say for broad daylight, it's my favorite film roll. This one, however, is also expensive and it's very fine grained and professional. So if you're just starting out photography, I suggest something more of Kodak Colorplus or Ultramax just to get started so that you're not too disappointed when you use up a film roll and make some mistakes or something. I've used some Fujifilm film rolls as well. I've used the Fuji Color, which is very similar to Kodak Colorplus, except that it's 100 ISO, which is not that huge of a difference. And they look very similar. They're both very warm. The skin tones are similar. And something I noticed with Fujifilm photos, other than the Fuji Color, the Fujifilm Superior and other ones are quite green. I don't know if that's something that you would like. I'll show you some photos right here of the Superior 400. I really didn't like this film roll personally because all of the photos had like a green hue to them, and that wasn't really my style. I know some people that love Fujifilm. I don't hate it, it's just that the green hue bothered me too much and I preferred the Portra and Ultramax over it. That covers all the film rolls that I've used personally. I'm sure there's some more, but I didn't use them enough to really have them in my mind when I was making this video. Other suggestions that I've heard from people that I haven't used yet are lomography. Lomography is a really cheap option. There's lomography 800, 400. There's some really funky ones that are like come in Lomochrome purple or like Tokyo, and they have a bunch of different colors, so you can check those out as well. And yeah, so that covers all of the film rolls that I've used. I hope this helps with you choosing which film roll that you want to use. And thank you so much for watching. I have all of my social links in the description below, so you can click that. I post everywhere. all the time. So make sure to follow all of those social media links. And thank you so much for watching. I hope you have a great day.